Jeep day today. So as luck would have it, we had 3 Jeeps visit the shop last Saturday. A 2005 TJ getting an RV tow bar installed, a 2004 LJ for some brakes and other work, and a 2000 TJ with noisy rear drums and in need of an oil change. So come hang out with us as we show some random video from the day. And bear with us a bit, as this video may jump around a bit. With 3 Jeeps getting work, I got to chip in and help as needed and shoot some film at various parts. So no big how-tos today, just a bit of hangout with some Jeeps. Alright, so, wait, what'd you find?
Sway bar bushing issue.
Stabilizer link. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. Alright, what about the other side?
The other side, I think we might need that today.
Oops. That's the Jeep sway bar disconnect there. The quick disconnect. Yep. Look at it, popped right out of the socket. Look at that. See, that's where you look at that and you go, I'm so glad that's a sway bar end link and not a ball joint.
Yeah.
Or a tie rod. Imagine that, but it was this, which connects your steering, or that, which keeps the wheel on. So yeah, we should see about doing that. This is a cool one. This is the LJ. Oh, did you get the socket out? The ball socket?
Ball socket's out. You want me to hold this on this side? I'm gonna try to move this stuff.
I always like it when you got to make a parts store run. I usually fake it so I can get tacos, but I think that it's working out this time.
You're gonna need both of these, aren't you?
The other one didn't look too hot.
The other one's
So, yeah. Usually if one pops, the other one's not far behind it, and it certainly looks like it's close.
It's hanging.
How many miles on this?
159 or something.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. That's a lot of miles. And it's a 2004? What years did they make the LJs? Do you remember?
4, 5, and 6.
All right. It's like me with the Lincoln Town cars, always wanting the L version. Was it an extra 6 inches?
15, actually.
Oh, wow.
Behind the door in the back end.
I always thought 6 inches was enough.
That nut is actually.
All right, man. Tell me what you're working on.
Say, don't ask me what I'm looking at.
So what do you got here, though?
Rear brakes.
You just picked this up, right?
Yes, sir.
2000?
2000 TJ.
TJ?
Just checking the brakes, checking things over. Trying to just make sure we got some good safety issues going on. You know, nothing major. So.
No, so
Because those are just.
so that looks like that adjuster
Yeah.
is out of adjustment, or because this little star adjuster under here, they call it, this is what you turn, and it actually screws this in and out, and that's what moves the pads in and out and sets them. And they should be self-adjusting, but I mean the shoes look good, and you weren't able to find a hardware kit, but those springs all look pretty decent. So I mean the shoes look good too. I say we pull the other side before we do anything.
And see if.
Let's take a look at the other side.
If they need to be replaced, replace them all.
So you want to see if this is going to come off yet? Got a pretty classic 4-liter issue where the ratcheting oil caps get hot and then they don't want to come off.
Like that.
Push down on it. Oh, not yet.
No.
Alright. In a pinch, I know I've popped them off before, and then you can use a pair of pliers to turn the inner piece.
Pop the cap off.
Yeah. But
All right. Well, we've got time.
we'll let it cool while we're doing the other stuff and hopefully get it off without doing too much messing with it.
Yeah.
But looks pretty clean under here.
See what it looks like.
So
Odometer may or may not be right, but it says about 127,000.
Nice. I like the orange.
So
Repaint. What color was it originally?
Aftermarket, Patriot Blue Pearl. Right here. That was the color originally.
Oh, I like that blue actually. Yeah. I mean, I like the orange. It's kind of cool on the Jeep, but that's a nice blue.
Not sure how long ago it was shot, but
cool.
I think it's a Banks aftermarket exhaust. Nothing that I did. So get that other off. See what it looks like over there.
Everyone else is doing the hard work. All right, what do you got? What's the bad news or the good news? So you have one pad getting eaten up.
Screwdriver. You want me to trade you?
Yeah, you got a lot of rust right on the here. Let's put some oil on it. We'll put some of the.
Well,
This stuff's gold, so we have to use sparingly.
a little oil on our brakes. It's always good.
Yeah. If they're squeaking, you just spray it down on the. No, I can't say that. Someone will do it. Are you rechanging the rotors?
Yes. Yeah, he is.
Okay, all right. Then in that case, hit it as hard as you want.
I'll try not to.
All right.
Kind of have a narrow window where I can't hit it.
Yeah.
Hit the brackets. As long as it's doing its thing, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's still recording.
What?
Yeah, don't mic sound wrong.
Oh. There it goes. That rotor's probably still good.
Look at the backside of it.
All right, yeah, maybe not.
No, it's not.
So the worst one I ever had to do was on the F-250. I had to use an air hammer for 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
And by the time I got it off, it was just pitted. But like, I never had one. I thought I was going to have to cut it off.
Yes.
Yes, that's I cut that off of the zip
Yes,
tie.
that's stainless steel zip.
Okay, it was freaking
That's
me out.
me not being clean. Yep. This is excellent.
So I wouldn't normally know where this came from, but obviously right here. This was laying between the drum and the rest of the wheel.
Right, my white balance is all
So-
jacked up. Let me get my light.
Here.
Here.
Water's on. So,
Go ahead and show me again what you got here. So this is the side that had a noise?
Yes. Pulled the parking brake
That's the
about
parking brake
3
cable
days
end.
ago, and ever since then,
Right, that's a-
kept hearing a
that's a problem.
squeal, and pulled the.
Oh, no, that's not the
Pulled
part.
it down.
That's the, this is the little arm that goes from here down. It's
Somewhere.
like part of the adjuster mechanism. I forget. I don't work on a ton of drum brakes. So
Well, I mean,
I go
we can look on
good
the other
couple
side.
months,
We can
but-
look on the other
Yeah,
side.
let's go see where
what
that is.
See what it's supposed to be.
Oh,
Watch the. So it should be.
this
Where does it go? Oh, there's an interesting.
this side doesn't have.
That's an interesting fact. Unless it's on the bottom and it just got stuck. Let's see. Well, maybe they just threw some extra parts in there. Is it on the back side? Where did that come from? This one
But it's
doesn't
got
have,
the spring
'cause
on
you know
it.
why? Because it probably is a part of the parking brake. I'm not familiar
So
with
the
it enough.
parking brake is this cable right here,
So that goes in at the
which
bottom.
goes in on the bottom, and it should have like a mechanical arm in the back.
So, because you
pull
can
from
see
in
where
there.
the cable broke up here on
Up
the
there,
other
yeah,
side,
yeah.
but there's no cable on this side. And there's that little spring. So new to me. The other one has these two and that.
That
other
thing's
piece.
behind it. It's behind those two
Right.
springs, yeah.
So it's only on one side.
But it has the same
But there's
half
no
moon thing,
yeah, but there's
right?
no track. There's no,
No track
wire.
in
There's
it?
no. I mean, there's a track, but there's no.
Yeah, and it has the same hook down here. So that should be the cable, if I remember correctly on drums, that's the self-adjuster cable.
But only on one side.
No, it should have been on both. Someone probably replaced these at some point and didn't put it back. Maybe it was broken and they just took it off and put it together without it, and that one was still rusty and good and it broke later. So the best thing to do is try to find a picture online of what they look like, and because these things are so popular, it probably won't take much to find it.
Let's see if we get a better zoom up. There we go. So it looks like where that came from. So it was this and the cable and the so it looks like it was. You can see where it kind of went up. The cable went around from here at 12 o'clock around
this little
right
track.
here, right there. There's the cable, and then it comes down into a spring, and this piece that came down behind.
And it clipped into that in that auto adjuster that we saw.
Yep, right back there. You can see right there where that hits. Yep.
All right, so update on this orange one, the Orange Crush. It is off. They're off to the parts store to get the hardware kits and the cables, the self-adjuster cables for the brakes here. So that was interesting. This side didn't have the self-adjuster cable at all. And the one thing I think we showed on video is how loose this is. So these brakes probably weren't even doing anything. They weren't self-adjusting. And the reason that they do that and how they work, as you wear down the shoes, the shoes themselves have to go out further to contact the drum. The drum is the friction area. This is the friction material. So as this friction material shrinks, you need to fill that space in by pushing that out. And all the springs and the hardware and everything do that, but it is this pin in the bottom, which has got a threaded piece on it, and as it turns, it can expand or shrink. Well, in the old days, it was all, you'd have to adjust them periodically. You'd come in and there'd be a hole in the back of the drum, and there actually is one here. There's a little plastic cover right here. You can pop that out and you can stick a screwdriver in and you can adjust those and get them right. But the automatic adjuster is that cable that comes down and it kind of pulls this tight and allows it to ratchet, and it makes it so you don't have to quite do that as much, but that's broken. All right, so on this side, it had the cable still sort of attached, which is right here. Let me show you with the light. So you can see the end, it goes under the two springs, which shows that that couldn't have been on the other side. It would have been inside the drum itself. It would have actually been in there. So with that not there, and you can see the cable broke, there were some pieces in this spring, and that's what clips down in there. So they're off at the parts store getting hardware kits and that piece, so we can reassemble these and have them working properly. Yeah, let's see if this works, because I got these little hammer pieces now.
Want me to spin it?
Yeah, go to the other side.
You don't have any, yeah. Keep going. Oh! All right. There we go. Oh, the shoes are in good shape, so.
Huh? They're getting replaced now. That ain't so good.
You're losing air pressure there.
Yep. There we go. Nice. All right, so we're out here looking at the tree, and me and my infinite wisdom, I'm looking at how big this is, which is, I can't even zoom out enough. And I'm like, oh, these vines that were running up, and I grabbed that. And what did you just say to me?
No, that's poison ivy.
It has rings.
Yes, that is
It's
huge.
like it's poison. I'm used to seeing poison ivy growing out of the ground with the 3 leaves. This is a tree. It has, this is like 15-year-old poison ivy. Like, you can count that.
Older.
Look at that.
Yeah, probably older than that.
So that oil is probably really,
Yeah, that's
like
That's nasty stuff.
So that would explain why when I cut up some of the logs, I had really bad rashes and stuff on my arm. And I'm not even really allergic to poison ivy that much, or at least I wasn't. And I got some hellacious stuff.
You see it starting to sprout the leaves out. See the three? One,
Yeah.
two, three. Yeah.
I had no idea that was a poison ivy. I didn't know it did that.
Got that big? Yeah.
I mean, I grew up walking in the woods and playing in the woods and everything. I mean, look at that on here. I didn't realize it like ran all the way up a tree and could get that big. I just thought it was like a ground.
Yeah, like a little thin vine.
Yeah, like what do you call that?
Honeysuckle or something?
Yeah, or what's that ground stuff they call it? Underbrush.
Underbrush.
Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was kind of like underbrush.
Now those vines can get pretty big.
So, but
Look, your vines have branches sticking.
yeah, I thought it was like, I thought it was some nice ornamental thing. I don't know.
Well, it's
You can tell,
colorful.
like, as a kid, I knew a lot more, and I've obviously branched off in the cars and computers, and I don't know my trees as well anymore. But
Yeah, that's some of the biggest poison ivy I've seen.
that's a big poplar.
Yeah, that was a very big poplar.
Well, it's a good thing it didn't fall on the garage
Wiped
there,
out the garage, yeah.
or the Furies if it was parked out. So
Or knowing the height of that thing, it could have taken out part of the house.
yeah, the guy said that where it was in its height, it could have hit either the house, any of the cars, or the shop.
Yeah.
He said it was in the perfect spot, and it had a hole in it.
Is
First-
that a poplar? Yes, poplar.
Yes, I'll walk back and show you that one. That's the next one I got to think about what to do. So this one, when they cut it, look at how it like just fell and put a dent, like a ditch into the ground here.
It's a branch, right?
Yeah, that was like the upper branch piece, and I've been slowly splitting this. I've got a bunch of it in the truck.
Look at the thickness of your bark on that.
Yeah.
Wow. I was noticing the piece over there.
It's like, it's hard to show on camera, but this is like almost a foot deep
Yeah.
where it felt like put a ditch. So if you ever need a ditch dug, just drop a tree. So
Look at how the bark is just peeled off like that.
yeah, as I was cutting them, it would just come right off. And I think that's part of the issue of like this tree was rotting internally, and like humongous sections of the bark
Because this is what
would just come right off.
Yeah, there's something else. Bark is peeled off.
And I'm gonna wash my hands from touching that vine.
Get a little brake clean or something, get the oil off of it,
Yeah.
and you won't have it bother you. But that's literally just pop
It just peels right off. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cool looking like that.
It is. Yeah. And then it looks like it's like you shaved the bark off the way it looks
it's a
underneath
pretty
it.
tree underneath.
Yeah. But it was split at so it had the big trunk, and then it split, and in that split there was a hole. And you could see down in the hole, and yeah, and you could see it was full of dirt and it was rotted. And he pointed out when they cut it, like the rings, it's not as bad here, but in some of them it's like they were black from rot and water in them.
Okay.
So
it's rotting vertically down the center.
yep, down the center of the tree, inside out.
You got a big oak tree. Do that and then just literally split in half and fall apart.
Oh my God. And when they cut this, when this part fell, the amount of force that I felt,
You can feel the whole.
yeah, I was like, yeah, like. Just reminds you, like when these come down at full power, why they can crush or go through a house and
Yeah, like,
and kill somebody.
there.
Yep. You get the water here. You want to get the water? Here, come on in. Here, ready? Ready? You want to get it? You want to get it? You ready? Okay, now chill in your pool. All right, so on this tool here, kind of use this to put the springs on, but it's got this neat little piece here to get them off. So you put this like here, and it somehow, if I remember how to, it should, yeah, latch into the spring like that, and then you can turn it You got to kind of grab it just right. That should grab it. There you go. Yeah, so once it gets in there, and then like that. There we go.
Didn't ride it, but that's okay.
All right, so we'll try to keep these in track of where they went. So this one went like that. So we're going to put it like that. Okay, so this tool goes on these. Allows you to push that.
What is that releasing?
This little spring right here needs to get, let me get my little flashlight and I can show on the camera. Those are little metal pins and they go through that cap, and see how they're lined up? So you line it up and it'll pop out. So you turn it 90 degrees
And it pops right
and it
there.
should pop out.
Gotcha.
So they're pretty rusty. That's part of the reason.
Yeah.
Just grab the end of that with the pliers. All right, ready?
Try to turn it from out here, or you.
So go ahead and
turn it.
Go ahead and grab it. See if you can grab it good.
Did it turn it all?
Nope.
All right. I'll grab it. You turn. How's that?
Here we go.
Oh, I did.
Got it.
Okay.
I got it with the tool.
I like it. Okay.
There we go. That one I got pretty easy. So, yeah, then these pins come out the back.
Oh, that's what the pins were for.
Yeah,
They come
so
with
there
the
should be pins in
yep,
there. There's the springs. And you've got your crossbar with a little spring. Goes along the top.
I hope I didn't need two of these. They told me I only needed one.
There's this. Oops.
Oops.
So this one, there we go, just clips in. Some of these have little C-clip things on them. This is the this is the parking brake cable.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, we have 4 of these springs that look alike, and it looks like you took 2 off.
yes,
Side.
yep.
All right.
So that's what I like to do. I like to lay the new springs next to the old ones if you got them.
That goes there. This goes there. So we got another 2 more white ones. Oh, these 2 things. Where do we? Those 2. Yep. Identical.
All right, so they probably are, but what's that? So they are.
Have yeah.
So they could be. They could be identical
and
per
looking
side.
at- and looking at
Obviously, this
this-
one isn't because it's got that pin. It's it's longer on one side than the other, so we got that matched up
Yeah.
with this one.
And
And then
that
this
looks-
piece, this spring, I'm not good with the camera. This spring needs to go on there, but we got a new one. All right, so the new one goes like that. So the spring, which is of course a pain, I'm gonna hold that. The spring goes like that. All right, and then I got a new one of these. Looks slightly different, but that looks like it's the right one. And that goes. So we, of course, didn't get it on camera because why would we? But this tool helped out. We just used that little grippy thing, pulled it over and under. So now when this goes underneath, as this gets pulled by that cable, it'll have a little bit of spring to it to pull it back. So that's how that works mechanically.
right here.
And that'll, when it's all in and has the spring tension of that on it, that'll pull that up. See how it keeps popping down?
Yeah, and that's where that
That'll
cable
keep it
came
up.
all the way
Yeah.
around, right?
Yep, so that's done. There, yep.
Right here.
Now, can I give you 2 of them?
Yeah, we got
Okay.
left and right set of those.
All right. And you got all these things, which we'll have to figure out how that goes on again. So let's go ahead and put this together. And we're not doing a how to do drum brakes install. I know everyone will wish that we did, but let's go ahead and put it together and we'll talk through what we did when we're done.
This spring. Wish that was a better picture. Oh, so this actually has to. That piece right there, that C has to go behind that. See what I'm see where how it goes.
See that?
behind it. It goes like, so I need to pull.
That's fun.
Let me see.
Well, that'll be enjoyable.
Let's see the best way to try to do that is. All right, there it is.
Oh, I turned off the camera. I didn't. No offense, man.
That's right. There it is.
All right. That's awesome. Okay.
That's on.
And that now you have something you never had there, which was a self-adjuster and tension on it.
Listen to that.
Yeah, just like it should. Just that nice ratchet. And we can work on, when we put the drum on, we'll work on getting that kind of right. You want like just a tiny bit of drag, but for now, we'll keep it on. So we got to do that spring,
Okay.
which is the only spring left. This tool, you use this thing. You put it on the spring, and then find a nice spot to anchor against. Oh, didn't get it. Probably because this thing's been chewed up over the years, but we'll get it. We'll get it this time. Or I'll turn the camera off, it'll be perfect. There it goes. Just like that. Bam. Once you get the feel for it, I can see like if you do these more often than I do them, you can definitely get a hang of that and slap them on pretty quickly. But now that's on. So the cable, then this spring holds this piece in, this little pivot. Cable goes down onto that piece that we showed earlier. And then you got your two springs on the top, and you've got your adjuster down here. That's nice. So all brand new hardware. So when you put the drum on, you'll find out if the drum fits or not. See, the drum is kind of tight. So since these are new, the adjuster doesn't have to be out too much. And see how that kind of spins. They're actually not bad. But then you can figure out which way to turn the adjuster. Do it later. See, now that I did that, look how tight the drum is to get on. So we'll back it off the other way a little bit. Make sure everything's seated. Let's see, I honestly think it was pretty good before. That's not bad. That's not bad. And there's a little bit of drag on the drum, but it's not dragging the unit itself. So if you want, we could brush these off and put some black paint on them.
We'll mess with that another time.
Okay.
We'll get the brake done.
All right, well, want to do the other side?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we got. Okay.
And I think that noise is actually this. This was this rubbing on this.
On that, yeah, yeah.
So that wasn't even.
So this is the driver's side all done. Went twice as fast as we knew how to do it.
All right.
So I think, let's see if the drum fits on. And I think we might be done. Okay, nice. So that's it. We just got to make sure we adjust the drum correctly. That sounds about right in terms of drag. So we should be good.
All right.
Is the other drum on?
No.
Go ahead and slide that one on. What I'll do, I'll put the brake on, you see. So tell me when that one's on. All right. Try to turn it. Nope.
Nothing over here.
All right, try the other one.
Nope.
Okay, you got brakes. Now see if you can turn them.
Now, of course,
Now try. Now that I take the brakes off. All right, that's the real test. That means we got everything right.
I am not going to mess with the parking brake right now, I don't think. That's just
No, the parking brake should be fine.
Well, it was always really loose.
Probably, well, I guess you could try it, yeah. It should be fine now, yeah.
It's great now.
It's because whoever put those things on didn't do it right.
I could pull it all the way up.
Yep.
And it did nothing before.
Yeah, now that we put it together right, it works. And now that this is cooled off,
Oh, look at that.
it works perfectly. So you got the oil cap off once it cooled, so now you did the oil. Have you run it yet?
Nope.
You got
I just
go ahead and
wanted
run it,
to- I
because
wanted
yeah,
to
that
see-
looks pretty good, because once it fills the oil filter
Oil
up.
filter and all that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm clear. We're clear.
Come here. Yeah, is this what you want? Sit.
Let's see, I gotta do this.
What you got? You got a box? You got a box? Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. What are you doing? Uh oh, you dropped it. You want a treat? Here. Cookie. You want a cookie? Want a cookie? Sit for a cookie. Sit. Gentle. Back on the LJ, after replacing the brakes and one sticking caliper, we went ahead and decided to flush the fluid using the Motive Power Bleeder. That's getting clear. Let it run for a little more. I think we're getting close. That power bleeder is awesome. All right, so we're using the Motive Power Bleeder. Gonna loosen this. We got a new caliper on this side in the front because it was binding a bit. We've already done the back circuits. And if I can remember my spatial acuity, I'll do that. Let that drain into a pan. Looks yummy. Where's my sample? That's looking pretty good. Let me take a, let me empty my bottle. Take a sample. Where is it? Yeah, that's looking pretty clean considering it was brown when we started. We'll let it run a little more, but that looks pretty fresh. So we're gonna have to come through and like brake clean everything again because there's fluid running down.
That's why I didn't spray anything yet.
That power bleeder is awesome, especially with someone to pump it while I'm sitting here watching this come out. It's the ultimate of laziness. It's wonderful. No, down, down, up, up. Yep. The brakes are going to be a lot firmer. Plus, they're new and.
You might have to be careful not to go sliding down the road with stuff on the brakes.
You have no ABS.
I know.
Yeah.
That hasn't been a problem before because this brakes is working so much and you're just kind of like, I hope I stop.
Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks nice. That's like almost, that's about what it looks like. Fresh, clean brake fluid. All right, let me close the bleeder. And we got one more side to do. Get on the bleeder, there we go. All right, we'll go to the other side and we'll be all done. Oh, that's nice. That worked. The universal actually worked and didn't leak. All right, so the LJ is done. Turned out this one needed a fair bit. What did we end up doing? Or, well, what did you do? I didn't do anything. I sat and watched. So I know you got the sway bar end links replaced. New front and rear brakes and rotors. One caliper was sticking. We flushed the brakes completely, so new fluid. And we didn't finish, but you've got the turn signal stalk for the inside. And a fan belt to slap on it. So back on the ground, all done. The orange Jeep's gone. That got the brakes done and an oil change. That one was pretty new for that owner, and Didn't know what the brakes were going to be like when we opened it up, and we found a lot of rusted hardware and missing parts. We got that all completely redone, and they work perfectly now. So we fixed that. Oh, and we adjusted your parking brake too. Yes. We didn't test it though. We adjusted it and felt the rotor tension. All right, so this one, you're wrapping up some electronics. So what are you putting on this thing? We put this bar on it. This
It's a front tow bar.
Oh, my gimbal's freaking out. Okay, so what does the front tow bar do for you?
Well,
I know, but we'll tell everybody.
It allows the Jeep to be towed by an RV. So
like flat tow?
Flat tow.
Four wheels on the ground?
Vehicle.
Yeah.
And then also running a wire harness so that we can have the turn signals and brake lights and everything work directly from the RV to this. So it works like almost like it's its own little trailer.
So we didn't film that, but you pulled the back lights off, and it had, it's a Blue Ox brand. They had a full wiring harness, plug and play. So it was like unclip, put it in, and it's like a new connector, and then it comes up to this 4-pin connector, like a standard trailer 4-pin, which will connect to the RV. That's pretty simple. So nice. So the LJ was what, 159,000 miles, and it's a 2004?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is an 06 or 05?
05, and if you flip the gauge, I'll turn my power back on.
How do I do that? With the key?
Turn the key.
Let's see. 107,687. So just over 100.
Yeah.
So just getting the 4-liter broken in.
Yeah. It's been pretty good that way.
Well, cool stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's nice to make some progress.
yeah, it turned out to be Jeep Day today.
It really was a Jeep day.
That makes me want a Jeep.
I'll be honest with you, I really do like the Wrangler, and if I replaced this, I'd be replacing it with another one. Maybe a newer model. But otherwise, I've been very happy with it.
Nice. I'm going to close out this video. Then we'll turn the tunes back on. The worst part of making a video is you can't have the music playing in the background for YouTube. So, well, we ended up working on 3 Jeep TJs today. Well, 2 TJs and an LJ. I better not call that a TJ. I'd probably get in trouble. So, all right, so let me get it right. I didn't call it, what are the Liberties? KJs, right? KJs. Are they KJs? Yeah. So I know my Jeep stuff. I don't just do WJs, but anyway, I think we had a lot of fun out here today. We worked on 3 Jeeps, did various things on them, brake jobs, electrical work, getting set up there, other little bits of mechanical suspension work. So I don't know what the video will look like when we're done. It'll probably just be kind of us hanging out, maybe a little bit of tech here and there, but it wasn't any like full how-to or end-to-end. So we'll see how it turns out, but hopefully you enjoyed this, just a little bit of us hanging out in the shop working on some Jeeps. And if you like what you see, drop us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and you can check out more here on Vortex Garage.